We back bringing you the DC strats for Tyrant Sword. Alpha Trix is up and we have minus 90% healing for this season. Now if you're new to Danger Close, I will be going over the mechanics for this boss. If you already know them, I will have the video timestamps so you can go ahead and skip ahead. You'll find that in the description. Curian Vivian seems to be the flavor of teams this season, so I'll be showcasing that team, but I did do a non-Curian Hana team for those that do not have them, so let's go ahead and check them out. At the start of the fight, boss slowly walks towards your ship, spawning 2 sets of 3 ads each. You have to deal with these ads quickly, keep your team alive. Boss is special, indicated by the blue bar under his portrait. Once something's in range, he'll do a hard hit in front. Boss's ult, indicated by the purple bar under the portrait, will hit for massive damage to your entire team. You can redirect it, or you'll have to find a way to protect your team from it. At 70, 50, and 30% HP, the boss will use its great sword and yoink your entire team to the other side of the field. There are a few units that can prevent this, Lucretia being one of them, but she can only protect the front 3 non-mech units. Jushiun and Ella can also do the same thing with their counter, but protect the entire team. If the air unit is the closest target for it to hit, it'll use its anti-air skill, which will do massive AoE to your entire team. Alright, time for some stats for nerds. Sword is going to be coming in with 2 million HP. Now, he has, or she, it's 2024, 746 defense, 1,973 hit, and 2,317 evasion. Now, this means that your tanks are going to need at least 1,053 or more evasion in order to dodge Sword's attacks. And for DPS, you will need 4,344 if you have not stripped any evasion off the boss, and if you've at least stripped 50% evasion, you'll need 2,171 hit or more to Sharpfire. Honestly, there's nothing really too difficult about this boss, so the best advice I can give you here is just save Agnes ulti for when the boss uses his sword skill to pull your team. Dodging that attack will actually be very helpful later on because she can survive 1 pull, and you really only need to deal with 2 pulls on this fight, if you're lucky. So her being in the back alive, being able to attack will be far better than her dying early. Mods I'm using for these runs is just 75%. We're basically taking the minus 50% attack, minus 50% HP, minus 40% A speed, minus 40% skill haste, so we don't touch the boss HP, and then we increase the enemy's attack by 50%, and then the deployment resource gain by minus 30%. Team used here. I'm using Matador for the damage amp and the attack buff that it's going to be giving my soldiers. Vivian Operator with attack speed, crit damage could work as well. Do not be fooled by the last 3 picks here. This is only a 5-man team, as you'll see. Let's go ahead and check it out. So we're just going to go with a auto start here. After that, we're just dealing with ads that are sitting there spawning in. Curian does some quick work on them, along with the little wardens. Great. Agnes outranges everything, and we are just going to try and spam deploy Tifu as quickly as we can. Now, we lose the Wardens there, their loss will be missed. And then we would just carry on. So after this, it's just waiting for DP to get her units out as quick as possible. Now, we want to save the ulti for Agnes for this first sword so we can sit there and dodge it. Toss down the S2 on Matador along with Chifu's ulti, and then just try to get our Vivian proc as quick as possible and watch the fireworks. Curian pulling the weight of this run here with Agnes falling right behind. Unfortunately, Chifu didn't do that much. The gear I'm using for this team, Curian, I went with attack speed, full anti-striker. Attack anti-striker works as well, or attack also works. Agnes, I went with full range damage. Shinatsu, I went with a full Mage CDR, 76%. It's full damage on her. For Wardens, I went with just pure damage, attack set. Getting as much as I can on it. And for Dorothy, I have Blaze on her. She only gets a few attacks at the end, so it's full anti-striker Blaze works. Attack anti-striker will be better, of course, but won't provide. It's not that big that you can't use Blaze. And then none of these other three matter. For my ship, I have some decent latent, and not really actually. They're not great. They're actually awful. But hey, it is what it is. For this team, if you're unfortunately coping, you don't have Curian, Chifu, Vivian, then this is probably going to be around your best bet. This is a standard type of team that we used to use for Tyrant Sword, except instead of Karen, we're using Rosaria. And instead of Enterprise, we're using Tempest for some shenanigans. But honestly, even if you don't have Vivian and you have the rest of the previous team, I would use the previous team just with a side skill that helps, in all honesty. So we're not going to go with the auto start here, playing Sigma a bit forward so that the sword skill doesn't immediately kill her. We do deploy Rosaria in the backs so that she walks forward for better positioning, and Agnes down right here so she'll outrange a lot of different things, and she has ridiculously long range, so she'll start hitting the boss. After that, we use the Tempest S1 to sit there and stun those adds to give Rosaria enough time to sit there and deal with them and keep them alive. And then we go with Raph here so that the boss basically. Now I'm trying to get the sword to proc as quick as possible, and I just go ahead and use Tempest S2. It will be back up later. Plus the Wardens will help protect Agnes and Rosaria from adds later on. I want to sit there and go ahead and take care of the first counter with Yushiun, and then this is important, using Tempest Shield to redirect the ulti. That'll buy you some time so that you can get your tank back out again and keep your entire team alive. After that, we just sit there and deploy Wrath to turn the boss around. And then we wait. I know I'm spamming it here, but I realize the sword's coming up, so I stop, ulti on Sky here so that we iframe that pull and then redeploy Agnes. After that, it's just trying to do as much damage as we can. Ulti's coming up, might as well use it. Probably shouldn't have used Agnes. It may have actually killed the boss slightly faster, but what can you do? And Awaken taking first spot again. For Sigma, I'm running 76 CDR on her. Granted, I feel like if somebody magically had tank 76 CDR for mechs, that'd actually be better, but that's asking for a lot. Rosaria, I just have it on attack, anti-striker, fitting in as much damage as I can. Agnes, I have on attack speed, range damage. Raph, I just have on your standard tank build. Important to have the 50% crit res. Jushin, I have on full CDR in the off chance that he actually gets the ability to ult. Granted, this isn't needed. You could just go full damage, but he's not going to perform well on full damage anyways, so just might as well try to go for the ult. Sky, I have on attack speed, full skill haste subs, trying to get the attack buff up as fast as possible and be able to ulti at a decent time. Lucretia, I have on full CDR, but of course this isn't needed as well. You could actually sit there and run her on attack anti-striker. And then for Alex, another standard tank build, except with this case I'm running the EE instead. For the ship, I'm running Tempest, and unfortunately this time I actually have a decent sub for to at least work with. One single line of sniper anti-ground damage. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this helps you improve your scores this season. Now, I said this in the video, but in case you missed it, you do not have Vivian, but you have everything else. The team functions without it as well. Just use any operator with a damage size skill and you can get a decent score. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're feeling extra special, you can join the Mage Army by clicking the join button. You can catch me on Discord, link will be in the description for that as well. And if you want to help support this channel, you can find a link for that in the description. As always, I will see you next time.